Eidos.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to another Let's Playthrough with me, your host Tim. And today, we will begin playing through Thief Deadly Shadows, or Thief 3, again. There'll be a bit of prep which you can skip here via a link in the lower left-hand corner, just in case my talking doesn't interest you. Know that if you were watching my redo already of this game, that I am opting to redo it again. Yep. And so, I'll explain why in the minutes coming up. So first off, what is Thief Deadly Shadows? For all those who weren't rewatching the re-uploading playlist, Thief Deadly Shadows is a first-person sneaking game, and in my opinion, one of the best sneaking games, if not the best sneaking series there is to date. I have never played a game which I am more terrified of having guards find me than this game. They've done a fantastic job on the atmosphere for everything, a wonderful job on the lore that you can read in the game, and I love the idea that our objective is to be a thief, not a murderer. The higher difficulty levels begin to add restrictions as to who you're allowed to kill on missions, with the easiest settings allowing you to kill anybody, and the highest difficulty setting, you're not allowed to kill anybody. We are replaying this game from my very first playlist of it, because my very first playlist, I wasn't too happy with the video quality at the time. I think at the time I also was limited to 15-minute videos, and now I'm no longer limited to such. So I really want to do over that series because of that. I also had some sound problems during the game as well. I am redoing my redo now because I had a ton of sound problems in it, apparently, that I did not detect until way too late. I had watched my first two videos and things seemed to be great during them, and then as the series progressed onward, I realized that the music was too loud and you couldn't hear me talking, especially because in some of the later missions, I began talking in a more don't want to ruin the moment voice, which is to say that I begin talking very quietly because I'm being a thief, and I shouldn't be doing that. I should be talking loud. Because I've already recorded the next 5 parts of that list, I'm deciding to scrap all of it because I know all of it's garbage. And in addition to that, I will not watch this playlist of my own. I will find it too frustrating to watch. So I am redoing it. Yep, we're going to redo the whole thing. I cannot fix these videos. I cannot lower the sound without lowering all the volume. I simply do not have the editing tools to do so. So, restarting. Thankfully, we haven't gotten too far into the series before I'm restarting. We haven't quite made the halfway point yet. So, redoing it. Redoing it again. And please, if you notice any problems with this playlist, please tell me as well. Okay, right. Is there anything else we need to talk about? This will be a modded version of the game. You can see a list of the modding I have done down below in the video's description. When I was also doing the redo of this game, I still found the slight increase I did to the guard's perception to be still not enough. Honestly, I found the game to be way too simple, and it was a little frustrating for me that I wasn't panicking practically at all during the missions. I'm upping the guard's difficulty level by 100%, so, which means that whatever current ability they have to detect me, it will be, hopefully, greatly increased, such that if I actually walk somewhat into the light, they will become suspicious. If I notice it's still too low on the difficulty, I will increase it as we go on, depending upon how I feel the game is going. And I think that's really it, everyone. I do really apologize for starting this over, but I'd rather do it now than come back to this in a year and just redo the whole thing, especially because I'm in the habit of watching my Let's Plays now, even as I'm uploading them, and I am nothing but frustrated. I'm unhappy with my original playlist, unhappy with the redo. We are doing this again. Okay, all that said, I'm going to go ahead and check on this recording really quick and make sure things came out okay, and I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, everyone, it sounds good. It sounded good last time. Hopefully it'll be better inside the mission itself. A few more seconds here. First, remember that I'm going to be keeping this kind of atmospheric. So I will be keeping the talking I do, in the game to a minimum. That was something else that bothered me. The game was way too dark, and I couldn't see a lot of what was happening in the game. So I'm going to increase the brightness a bit here. I'd rather leave it dark, like this, which looks great to me on screen, but on the upload, it is dark as heck. So let's go ahead and up it a little bit. I'll up it to 9, and then I'll see how it looks on the upload when I'm done. Yeah, that was another thing that really bugged me in the game itself, too. Okay. So, one more time, remember as well that I'm going to be walking a lot. Even in the city, I don't believe Garret would be jogging everywhere. That's a good way to draw attention to himself, and he wouldn't be doing that. It also behooves us to be walking, because it's quieter anyway. I'm also not a quick thief. I'll be reading all the in-game texts and manuscripts or the like that we find. I'll be reading our objectives. I will do more talking when we're actually in the hub, when we're done with the mission and in the city itself. And during the missions, I won't be... No, don't do that. During the missions, I will be quiet. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and do a new game.
I got a tip last night from my fence. Heartless Perry. A nobleman named Lord Julian had some sort of quarrel and showed up at a local inn well after nightfall and in a foul mood. He's carrying a velvet bag about the size of a man's fist, and it never leaves his sight. Sounds likely to be valuable, but I'll know for sure when I steal it from him. Perry sent over a floor plan of the place, the Blue Heron Inn. Finding his lordship won't be hard. His room number will be in the guest register, if I can get to the front desk to read it. The inn will have guards, but not as many as a private estate. That should make things easy, which is one of the reasons I'm willing to try it without knowing for sure what the take will be. Lord Julian is so protective of that bag. There's got to be something of value in it.
Break into the inn, find out what room Lord Julian is staying in, steal Lord Julian's velvet bag from his room, leave the inn once you have the velvet bag. Okay, everyone, so a heads up that I cannot increase the difficulty of the game in the tutorial. It is stuck at normal. I will be unable to change it whatsoever. The special loot item we have to find is his amulet, and 40% loot means we just have to pick up like 2 or 3 of the things. And our gear really quick, just so you see what we're currently using. We have 10 water arrows, our dagger, and our blackjack. Oh, also heads up everyone, that I'll be playing this game such that I try not to knock out people. I will knock out folks, but I will not run through an entire level knocking out everyone. That is not a thing I will be doing. No, that will not happen. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and start the mission. Welcome to the training mission. Throughout the rest of the game, you will make your own choices and take your own path. In this mission, however, you will be given instructions at every step. To get started, follow the footprints on the ground to the first training experience. Hello, everyone. Alright, welcome to the game proper. We're going to cover everything as if you guys haven't seen this before. Down below, you can see that little rectangle-looking thing and our compass, which circles around it. The compass is pretty obvious. The rectangle there is our light gem. The brighter it is, the more likely we are to be seen by anyone who is looking for us. Right there, it is pitch black. We have an excellent chance to not be seen by enemies. Here, we have a slight chance, but it is possible that a guard that is looking for us might find us. We have to walk down to the footsteps, and then we'll continue our mission. I will also be doing a little more talking in this, actually a lot more talking in this mission than I normally would, as this is the tutorial. Just a heads up.
Did something just move?
To be a thief, you must learn to use stealth. When you hide in shadows, guards will not be able to see me unless they are very close. The light gem at the bottom of the screen will tell you how visible you are. Crouching, moving slowly, and hiding behind objects can also be helpful, but are not always required. In this case, the guard will not see me if we remain in the darkness. Sneak past this guard to proceed. Note how he kinda detected us.
Like this, it makes you think you see things.
Very briefly. It's because I've greatly increased their detection chances. Absolutely beautiful game. This area was really dark when I had done it the first time, so I will have to check the upload and make sure it is not as dark. It doesn't help that it's not as dark when I go and watch the video itself. It's only really dark on the upload. Some guards will be on patrols, looking for intruders. You must learn to observe your enemies and use careful timing to slip by them while their backs are turned. Sneak past this patrolling guard without getting caught. The sounds you make can alert guards, so you must learn to move quietly. Your footsteps are louder when you run, and when you cross over loud floor surfaces such as metal. Walk slowly and quietly over this metal surface without alerting the nearby guard. You can creep quietly by holding down creep. Crouching makes less noise than walking does, even with the creep button pressed. Creep is normally what I use to slow myself down to a walking pace while standing. All missions have objectives, even this training mission. Your first objective is to break into the inn. You can complete the objective by entering through this delivery hatch. Press a button to crouch and walk through it. You can use some objects by positioning them in the center of your screen. When they highlight, press the right mouse button to use them, otherwise known as frobbing from the first thief. Frob this door to open it and proceed into the next room. Remember everyone that I have a bunch of mods installed. Items you can interact with during my playthrough will be a slight tinge to it, as opposed to being fluorescent blue in color. Use your bow and water arrow to extinguish that torch on the wall. When guards are nearby, putting out torches creates darkness that you can sneak through. First select the water arrow by pressing the buttons and then use it. It does not matter how many water arrows you decide to end this mission with. You will have, I think, 20 or 25 water arrows for the next mission, if you were over or under that amount. To climb on top of obstacles, get close to them and press space. Climb over these boxes to proceed. They kept them mounting from the earlier Thief games here. The game doesn't explain rats to you, but I will do so briefly here. Rats will squeak when you walk on top of them or too close, which guards might come to investigate or at least remark about. If they're really looking for you, they'll be suspicious based on where the mouse began making sounds. You will usually see me fire my broadheads into mice or rats to eliminate them. A locked door is no obstacle for a skilled thief. We can go ahead and lockpick this door. I have modded the game, as I've mentioned before, and the lockpicking tumbler GUI, or interface menu thing, is not here, because I can see how close Garret is to lockpicking by watching his hands. As he moves the tumblers around, he will be able to hold his hands in position. The lock will then move a step, and we will be able to finish unlocking the door. That is a 3-stage lock. We can tell by its shape. You must learn to ambush your opponents. One hit from the blackjack can take down an opponent silently. To blackjack successfully, you must strike from behind when your opponent's not aware of your presence. Select your blackjack by doing the blackjack stuff. I will attempt to not knock out enemies, but I will have to knock out a few. If you leave bodies around, they might get noticed. Highlight a body by centering it on the screen, then press the button to pick it up and move it. The game wants us to drop him down here, but I prefer not throwing people from such a height. Your second objective is to locate Lord Julian. The guest registry on the counter may contain a clue about where he can be found. Highlight the book and press the right mouse button to read it. Guest list: Lord Julian, Peony Suite. The Earl of Warwick and friends, Cotillion Suite. Alicius Griggs, Dun Room. Baronet Mowbray and companion, Carbolet Suite. Dame Jala and companion, Crystal Suite. Hefrith MacDougall, Bungalow Room. Master Vorig and apprentice, City View Room. Lord Procrates, Wisteria Room.
Lord Julian. Wouldn't do to have anyone think he was just Julian.
Apparently not in this mission, but in other missions, Garret can just put out candles, effectively by licking his fingers and then squeezing the wick. Or maybe blowing them out. But we can't do so in this mission, or at least not to those candles. The guards would investigate a cat meowing as well. Maybe with the heightened detection, the cat as well acts that way. Check your map to find out where Lord Julian's room is. It's always a good idea to check your map when you're trying to get somewhere. I will not be using the map in this playlist. I have a good memory of all of the areas, and the map is not as useful, I found, in this game as it had been in the past. An observant thief keeps an eye out for valuable objects, such as this goblet. The loot you steal can later be sold to your friends for cash. In the original game, Garret did not have to fence items himself. Money, it was just converted to cash, and then spent on a certain types of equipment the game presented to you, when you started the next mission. In this thief game, we will actually have to go to shops to purchase the items that we want, and not all the shops sell exactly the same things, meaning that we'll have to go to several different locations. You can press up against walls to decrease your visibility in the light gem and to fit into narrow shadows. To enter wall flattening mode, get to it close to a wall and do it. Unlike other thief games, Garret has an actual physical body this time around. That body can knock over things if you're not careful, so have some spatial awareness of yourself when you're going through this. That's the door to Lord Julian's room, but the guard is in your way. You can distract him by using a noisemaker arrow. Shoot the noisemaker down the hall, and he will run towards the noise to investigate.
Very strange sound. Better check by the door.
Sometimes things don't work out as expected. Lord Julian isn't here in his room, and neither is the velvet bag you're trying to steal. Find a clue which tells you where he has gone, and your objectives will update with his new location. Items that you can pick up will have a small glint to it, like you see this candlestick doing. My friend and honored Lord Julian, I will meet you in the Lancaster room tonight. I trust you'll be mindful of the risks involved and be generous. Morris the cook.
His lordship has gone for a walk. Can't have gone far.
I said something a little incorrectly. You can pick up tons of items in the game. Well, not tons, but quite a few. However, only items... An item like this, however, is not worth anything, but we still can pick it up. You can drop it by just pressing the right mouse button, or throw it. Throwing an item and dropping it will make sound that guards will hear, and then they will come and investigate. Lord Julian is here, sitting near the fire, talking to someone. His purse is right next to him. Sneak up and steal the purse without being seen or heard by anyone in the room. When you've got the purse, sneak into the kitchen. Stick to the shadows, walk silently, and move while your opponent's backs are turned. Keep your eye on your light gem, and use your tools if you need to. If the guard starts searching for you, sneak away from him carefully.
5 picked men.
My lord,
5 picked men with me, and we cut our way through.
he's your cousin, my lord.
I won the bet. My shaft was closer by a thumb's width. The bloodline opal should rightfully be mine.
If I may, my lord, I can help you. I know the castle.
Well, you're a cook. What could you know?
Every evening after sunset, the supply wagon comes through that gate and into the courtyard, and no one looks twice. Arrange for your men to be inside one evening.
And then we cut our way through. 5 good men against 20, and my accursed cousin.
My lord, listen. There is a passage leading into the castle from the courtyard. I can open it for you when you give me the signal. The torch in the Lion's Head sconce. You must put it out.
The Lion's Head torch. Yes. And when I reach
Coming
the
through.
vault and hold the bloodline opal, I will take my place as head of the family. The Lady Elizabeth will be waiting. Even now she'll be flattering him, giving me time to return.
Only the medallion is the only key, my lord. You must keep hold of it.
You forget Lord Ember has another. I hear he guards it with his life.
My lord, I wish only for peace in the household.
The opal is mine. I won that bet, Morris. I won it.
What's going on over there, huh?
Sometimes even a careful thief gets caught. You can always try to fight if it comes to that, but it's usually safer to make a getaway. Try tossing a flash bomb and escaping while your opponents are blinded.
What? Found you! Now, ouch! Ah! I'm blind!
I will have your head.
Proceed to the exit area to complete your final objective. When all your objectives are checked off, you will have finished the mission.
Close one, but I've still got the goods.
What was that?
Nothing like mixing in society, especially if it comes with good loot. The velvet bag turned out to hold a bronze medallion stamped with a griffin. Valuable enough, but more interesting was the conversation I overheard between Lord Julian and the cook. Especially the part about a huge opal and a conspiracy for stealing it. I'd hate to have anyone but me get a stone like that. But I need a better idea where to start looking. If I show the medallion to my fence, I'm sure he'll know more. Heartless Perry always does.
Okay, everyone. So the next objective we will be doing is actually going to the mansion to raid it using the tactic that the cook mentioned. That will be in the next part, and I will see you in part 2. Thank you for watching, and take care.